Okay, so we're going to try and solo Attumen today. So I'll turn this music down. Just going to record to chuck it on YouTube, but basically this is my gear. I'm pretty geared, so I haven't done it before, so I'm going to try it with this gear before I decide whether I can do anything more aggressive with more DPS. I've got Hardcorium, Brute Deafness. You can just see these ones. Badge Cloak, I got Muru Chest, PvP braces. They're the second best braces, they've just got such good stam and resilience. Borderland Fortress, Belt. A lot of this stuff has block value, but just because of the sockets, the stam is just so important as a DK. Legs, boots are pretty shit from Kara, but got a bit of defense. Good stam sockets. This ring is actually shit. If you look at my armor right now, watch this, 1885. Also says 1885, so it doesn't actually, the armor doesn't work at all. So I've just been using the Hardcorium because I don't need the dodge doesn't do much and the stamina is pretty similar. Then from there, just a lot of stam. It's just super important no matter how geared you are that you just go lots of stam. Um, Talents, blood, has to be blood. Um, because you just need the self-healing. That's all this is all about. Nothing to do with damage, just self-healing. And because everything we do is percent based, Death Strike is percent based. You just want to have as much stam as possible because that increases your healing per second. And then as long as your healing per second outweighs your damage taken per second, you can solo anything you want. So that's the whole process. So let's give this a crack. I've never done this before, so we'll see how it turns out. My weapons are these two, but I'm actually going to run with my Brutal in the offhand to start with. That extra, where is it? Probably Fallen Crusader actually, because that slower speed just hits that little bit harder on my attacks, which will make this a little bit faster. So we're gonna pull. Don't know what this is gonna be like with the fears and shit. Just a bit of a learning process. The whole thing, all you're doing the whole time. I've got my Rune Strike queued into my Death Strike. And you just got to keep diseases up, because that's obviously what heals you. So don't let them fall, and just Death Strike constantly. Other thing to remember with blood is you've got this blade barrier, which is 5% less damage taken. Like, it's good to save the, your blood runes for healing, but you don't want the blade barrier to drop, because it's only a 10-second buff. So just do your Pestilence early if you have to, Blood Boil if you have to, and get that blade barrier back up. It's just another thing that's going to help with that balance of the healing taken. I mean, healing done, damage taken balance. That's all it is. I don't think this should be a problem. That's really simple. So Vampiric Embrace increases your total healing. Your total health, so then therefore your heals like Death Strike are going to be even bigger, so use that as much as you can. And like I said, Blade Barrier, don't let it drop. Rune Tap, easy. This will probably be slow, because I'm just going to play conservative this time, because I haven't done this before. got the Zolgarab one down to 21 minutes. I want to try and get that. That's Tiger and Raptor from zone in to zone out. So it's pretty easy now. The only thing with like fears and shit, it's where you just gotta, it's good to save. So I let my diseases drop there, which is hard when you get feared because you obviously so just bang bang, then Peric Embrace into Rune Tap, 50% off to 100. Easy. It's just maximizing your self-healing. Try not to let the diseases drop. I keep doing it. That's just me doing things not optimally. And then you can use this Hysteria, Unholy Frenzy if you want. You should replace your diseases with Pestilence so you can just keep Death Striking. I've also got a two-hander. Brutal Gladiators. You can do this too. That's fine. But it's probably actually better. I might actually try this for a little bit and see what the difference is with damage. Just because that way your Death Strikes, what you're hitting, is just going to be hitting way harder. Okay, next pack is a 3-pack, so let's see how we go. Oh, Pat. I like to let my health tick down just like that little bit. Again, just maximizing Death Strikes as much as possible. Pestilence. I'm not even really needing to use maximize Rune Tap or anything on this. So ideally it's like, I mean, when you're not needing the self-healing from Rune Tap, just go Pestilence into Blood Boil. Or you can use Blood Strike, I guess. I've just gotten so used to using Blood Boil as my filler, just for tanking. So that's 600. Let's just see what Blood Strike hits for then. 465. Yeah, so it's not even that much better. It's a really weird spell. So you can see, like, yeah, Blood Boil is hitting about the same. There's no point even using Blood Strike. Blood Boil's a spell, so you're not going to get parried, dodged on Blood Boil, whereas Blood Strike can be. So, don't fucking bother with Blood Strike. You could use Hard Strike spec, but I'm just literally running my main tank spec. I don't want to have to respec between doing shit in raid and coming in here to do this sort of shit. Ideally, I want it down to like under an hour to do Zolgarab, and Kara for these mounts. So this is where it gets a little bit juicier. Save your Icebound Fortitude. Go for it. Keep up your Blade Barrier. If you've got a Rune Tracker, you can pretty much know at all times that as long as you don't see any red there, that you've got Blade Barrier up. Otherwise you got like a little weak aura like this. Personally, I'm pretty shit at using weak auras, or at least paying attention to them. Ah, okay. Okay, so this is a little bit... There you go, these horses. Let's see if I can use Anti-Magic Shell to drop this debuff if they can't put another one on me. Oh no, he got another one on me. So So we'll just see. Maybe I'll be able to kill this. But this stam reduction is going to be fucking brutal. Stay close to the door though. Because like I said, everything with DKs is that percentage based stuff. So as soon as your total stam starts dropping, fucking hell. Yeah, we might get this. Let's see if we can drop this. Okay, that's fine. 200 to stam. It's pretty... There you going. As you can see with anything, like, you can do this faster. It just depends how much DPS gear you want to wear and how much tank gear you want to wear. But, like I said earlier, I haven't done it before, so I'm just going to go conservative. But having this two-hander now, I'm pretty happy with that. But I do have my like full MIDI stuff, like my Sunwell Plateau with sword breaking. And the axe as well, brutalizer. Okay, so playing with anti-magic shell is something that you can... Oh, is that rat gonna aggro that pack? No, fuck. Is something that you can get better at with DKs. Like a lot of people don't use it nearly as much as they can for debuffs. Like, it's a super important part of like anti-magic shell is like preventing application of harmful magic effects. So that means fears as well. Not warrior fears, but like priest fears. And things like this stack. So, I mean, the only thing is it lasts 5 seconds. So if you got it down to 5 seconds, then I can hit it. Now I know that it's definitely going to drop because he's not going to be able to put a new stack on me. Now it's gone. Just little things like that. Because it's a 45-second cooldown, just try to maximize it as much as you can. I didn't get beta access. I didn't play private server Death Knight either, so still just taking this time to learn a lot. I feel like doing the Blood Furnace solo, Soul Garb, all that sort of shit, you learn the class pretty well. Just practicing. Okay, I'm getting there. Slowly, but surely. What do I got this next pack? Just 2 horses. So like I said, this is where we'll try and use that nice early Ice Perm Fortitude, so it's off cooldown sooner. Normally I'd say the same thing with Rune Tap. You want to try, it's 30-second cooldown. You want to get that, use that as early as possible. But because my Death Strike is doing more than enough healing, you could argue that you could use Obliterate instead and then rely on Plague Strike, but when you're Blood Spec and you don't have Annihilation, your Obliterate's just going to take the diseases off. So it's really not worth using. So that extra healing, you just literally, you know that Death Strike's pretty much the best thing you can be doing. I'd also always rather be top to 100. Because when those fears happen, and you can't dodge or parry anything, it can get a bit how you going quickly. Okay, let's try this debuff drop. Okay, this way. Awesome. It's going pretty well. drop because I was typing. Should have got a timer going. I'll make sure I get this timer going for Attumen itself. I spoke with the guy in the DK Discord. His name was like Joshua or some shit. He said that it took him about 30 minutes to do Attumen solo, and recommended using anti-magic shell for the hit reduction. So you know that debuff where you don't hit quite as hard. I mean, sorry, it's like 50% miss chance, sorry. Okay, so this pack is another one that was a little bit tough last time with the debuff, so I'm going to try and get a little bit better at dropping this debuff while I smash this stable hand. Might even use Unholy Frenzy. I'm going to pull him in, stack it up. Hit Unholy Frenzy. Always use Frost Presence. There's literally no reason to try to use Blood Presence. The reduced damage taken from Frost Presence is just too beefy. Same with the stamina. Same shit that I keep saying. It's all about stamina from Death Knights. So one thing that I might be able to do here is drop this stack. Just Chains of Ice, both of them. Then I can move away, out of line of sight. And then hit this, and then hopefully this will. Yeah, so got a nice drop there. Mark of Blood. Oh, I should have done the thing. Goose, I don't know if you're watching this. But I can do that thing where you can enter a raid solo. Sorry, I should have done that so you didn't have to stay online. Just type it, so. Okay.
I can't do that yet.
What do we got here? Okay. This is going to be a real test, this one. That debuff is the thing that's going to get me. So, what I'm thinking in my head is this one, Raise Dead. Raise Dead, Death Pact it for 40% health in conjunction with Vamp Blood. As an absolutely monstrous heal. However, like with this debuff reduction, health reduction, it's going to be a bit much. So I just need to get my bind set up better. I don't have a proper bind for Chains of Ice yet, but because my Rune Strike is queued into my Death Strike, I don't really need Rune Strike sitting right there anyway. I don't really ever have to queue it myself. It's also in my Icy Touch too. Let's just see how we go, eh? Get the ghoul out early. So feared here. Stun. Just need this guy dead. Still got my ghoul there. One thing I don't have is a ghoul timer, so I know when to like maximize his damage, and then so I'm gonna just time it. It's probably pretty soon. After this fear, I'm gonna sacrifice him. I still click some of the abilities because I'm not used to the keybinds yet. I've been just changing stuff around since I started. So I'd managed to drop the stack somewhere in there too without any... I didn't even use any magic shell. So I got lucky there. So I would just recommend, if you're not as geared, just try and just kill down the stable hands and then just zone out. At 90% sure they don't respawn in these packs. Try and be better than me with diseases dropping. Like if you drop diseases, that's you know, 1 death strike's worth of runes to put them back up again, instead of just using pestilence. Oh, that's one thing I didn't show was my glyphs. I'm using vampiric blood. Glyph of disease. Glyph of disease is just like there's no other option. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh wow, gotta get back further. No other option for anything. Doesn't matter if like Death Strike glyph is better or some shit. You need glyph of disease. Like swap the fucking vamp blood one first. I'm huge on just like not having a special fucking spec just for this. Like you don't want to have both your, especially as a tank. Like you need 2 specs, 1 DPS or dungeon spec, 1 main tank spec. So you don't want to have like a 3rd spec that you're swapping out. Okay. Okay. Wow. Thought that last pack was tough. At least I got my ghoul pretty much back up. The other thing I haven't had to use yet is Shadow Meld. So luckily as a Night Elf, I'm trying not to use this because I know like most people are not going to have this ability. But literally having a Vanish is just like fucked. Um, um, so this is just going to be fuck it. Let's just go for a day. I'll try my best to stay away. Oh shit. Barely fear before I can use Ice Bound. Stun. Pestilence. Getting moved out for damage. These stuns are the thing that really gets you. Same with the Raptor boss. Blood on something. Rune tap. Stay land next. My ghoul's sitting there waiting. Don't have high stacks, I just got super lucky. I'm gonna sacrifice my ghoul. How'd you forget feet? Oh, lucky midnight sun. I'll make sure I have fucking pestilence into my... Oh, I lost my... I'm gonna pod here. Could die, could die. Somehow I'm not getting diseases up. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. Fucking hell. So I dropped diseases so then I couldn't death strike. Could have played that a lot better. But I think I got one down. Or two. Not too worried. I just don't remember the other mobs stunning quite so much. Anyway, let's go again. It's all learning. I often find the trash to be harder than the bosses anyway. Like with the tiger and the raptor boss. Oh look, I got two of the things down. That's pretty good. I should be looting this though. I will be a bit annoyed about that later. Not dying on that pack, but just move on. So now it's just your standard pack. Oh, one's a charger and one's a stallion. Okay. What are these? Stallions. Okay. So obviously the charger is the thing that was charging and stunning. So maybe this is worth focusing down. But I don't really know what any of these mobs do. I really should. Let's just see how we go. It should be fine now. Just come back with it. Shouldn't have pulled it out of D&D, but I'm more worried about the fear, not being able to pestilence if I have to, if I'm too close to midnight. Armor reduced by 50%. Okay. I'll get a duel out just for extra damage more than anything. One thing I haven't been paying attention on too much is the blood boil, so the blade barrier. So that's another thing just to. I'm gonna look at my debuffs and try and time a debuff drop. So you can see there where I was going to wait to pestilence and I got feared. So you really should try and keep like at least a fear amount's worth of disease up on the mob. So I'm going to try and anti-magic shot now. A little early, but you just pray that you don't get rebuffed in that last second. Yeah, sweet. So this pack is a little bit harder with that stun and also the fear, so I may play that differently next time with the 5-pack. If you don't need the heal too, there's no benefit to sacrificing the ghoul. Like I just let run out just then. Just use it for the damage. Oh, press the wrong button. Fallen Crusader as well. Like that was an 855 crit heal from Fallen Crusader. So not bad. So in terms of killing this, I have no preparation, prior plans. I don't know what's going to work. I'm just going to fucking go for it. This was raw, first ever attempt. Let's give it a crack. Things I'm thinking of, just diseases, blade barrier, maximizing death strike. Yeah, can't really think of anything else. Might pre-pop a just iron shield. Oh, yeah, maybe just an iron shield pot for this. That's about it. I'm gonna just try my best to work on anti-magic shell, the anti-magic shell the debuff that's going to come. Let's do it. I'm a big fan on the health bar to have percent, because so much of it, like with Death Strike, I don't have it on my tooltip. 5% of the max health.
Cowards!
Okay,
Wretches!
let's see what's going on here. I literally have no idea what any of these mobs do, so I don't know if I have even have a timer. So Blade Barrier, I'm just going to try and get better at Blade Barrier, that's the main goal. Knockdown, Curse. So I didn't see anything there for that Curse coming up. But worst case, I can save a Vampiric Blood. Knockdown. I'm just going to get my Ghoul out early just to help with damage. I can't imagine I need help. Use Mark of Blood early as well. Get that early Pestilence. Big hits. Blade Barrier back up. I'm not worrying about trying to maximize my runing power usage because I like to have some available for things like Death Pact if I need to. The main thing is just that rune strikes on Q. That's my main damage. I don't want to just be like spamming fucking Death Coil. I'm curious about this. I already said though. Oh shit. So I let that drop there. That was bad. Vamp Blood into Death Strike. Again, increase health. Healing improves too. It's just so fucking good, Vampiric Blood. I'm sure there's probably like a Frost hybrid you could go with this. Because you're not really making use of the main ability with Blood, which is Will of the Necropolis. Like, I never want to be that low on my health. But I've also got that Commendation, which is the same, like when it's below 35%. So, my Blade Barrier's been dropped for a while now, so Pestilence into a Blood Boil. So now I've got my 10-second. Ideally, you want to stagger them, so you only have to use a Blood every 5. Looking at my debuff now, I'll hit Blade Barrier now, and then I'll hit it. So this is a big issue, letting that drop. I'm gonna hit Icebound Fortitude just to use it. I'm parrying a lot more than I hope. So a fuckload of parries. You can see when I'm missing that can be a little bit scary. Stunned. Early Pestilence. Death Strike, Death Strike. Go on Mark of Blood. Get that on during this curse. You probably should wait and save onto your GCDs for right as it comes out. And again, just be better than me. Stop letting fucking diseases drop. Like, it's just terrible to play to let diseases drop like that. Get Ghoul out for damage again. Just get in the habit of just, I think, like refreshing diseases like super early. I don't know what the fuck I'm meant to do here. Am I meant to be killing that horse too? Or do I just kill this car? Is anyone in the chat, guild chat, anyone? Let me know. I'm doing pretty well with Blade Barrier. I'm not logging this, but I can go back and watch the video to see how often it's up. Let's get Pestilence up. I'm going to use Icebound Fortitude there, because I'm going to struggle to get a Death Strike off with this debuff. I'm going to come straight into
Come midnight, let's disperse
sweet.
this petty rabble.
Let's see how hard this guy hits now. It's not looking very hard. I just want to know this timer. Maybe I just don't have like something loaded. Do I have Karazhan loaded? Yeah. Oh, it's over here. Wow. So I haven't set up all my timers or anything on this character properly yet. Oh, it's under my thing, that's why. So let's hit Magic Show now. Probably too early. I can't move it now because it's fucking... So it was under my weak orders. Oh, God. Won't let me open it during combat. If I was watching this on YouTube, I would highly recommend skipping ahead at this present time. This will be a very boring, slow kill now. Another thing, Pestilence can miss if you're not hit capped, which you're very rarely unlikely to be against bosses without raid buffs and in a gear. They just stack the shit out of expertise. I'm just gonna hope. Yeah, so like when it comes to stacking expertise, it's like it obviously helps you hit your death strikes, but when you're in like a main tank setting, like I was looking at like the healing done on like Somewhere Plateau main tanking, and there's just so much overhealing. Like you're barely getting hit. Like your death strikes and shit are just so unimportant in actual raid setting. But saying that, when your death strikes hit, you get your death runes, so that then will help you get into more icy touches, more threat. If anyone's tanked so far, they'll probably find that like threat is just like a non-issue. It's just so broken, Death Knight threat. So I'm gonna put Unholy Frenzy, get this ghoul out. Oh, happy hit Unholy Frenzy right as he gave me that debuff. Let's just try and pump that now. So I think next time I'll be a lot more aggressively geared for Attumen. Obviously the trash is like a bit heavy going, so we'll see what happens. Let's just pump. I wonder what that I haven't done the Arcanite Ripper boss, but I may consider doing that next. I don't know how hard it is though. Maybe it's tuned a little bit higher because it's come in at the pre-patch. So tips for next time, move my DBM so when it gets low, it doesn't go under my weak auras. And more DPS gear. Best type of gear is, I find, just the Brutal Gladiator stuff. It's just so nice. It's got high stam and good DPS on it. Plus the resilience helps get you crit immune. Not that it matters that much. But yeah, really, DPS, PvP gear is just like the perfect tank DPS gear. There you go, eh?
Always knew. Someday I will become
Done. First attempt.
the hunted.
I was told there'd be a mount. Well, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Go back to the start if you want to look at my gear. Like I will say I am very geared, but as you can see by the boss, you really don't need to be that geared. It's the trash packs that'll be the worst, and they can just be done one mob at a time. Use Chains of Ice if you really have to. That is an incredibly good spell. Holy shit, there's trash respawning. And yeah, take your time. Zone out if you have to. Kill one, zone out. Jump up here, fucking kite it. This is what I'd do. I'd be like, up here, horse comes up, you got two horses, Chains of Ice one, jump off, kill the other one, watch it run down. Just do shit like that. Like, Death Strikes, you know, with runes, you got a 10-second cooldown, so if you can just be like, jumping around, and then, you know, waiting for them to run while your runes are off, you just basically, every time they're in range of you, you're healing, so can't go wrong. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy.